Yeah,
Hey,
call. I had to straighten up. I had to stand up.
you understand?
I had to stand up. Y'all called me when I was crying.
Yeah,
So,
So you had to stand tall, huh?
I had to do one of these.
yeah. Get the angle right. Yeah.
Right. I was sitting there holding the phone like, yeah. They got
They got talk to us different.
talk to us different now. They gotta respect the team. Welcome to this week's episode of Reals&Feels. I'm your host T Greasy with my co-host
Janelle.
and our producer extraordinaire,
C major.
and Miss Janelle. And if you would please allow us 10,
Hey,
15,
please
10,
cook.
15.
I love this for y'all, for real. Like genuinely,
We talk
as
on,
a fan base, y'all deserve everything with this one.
we've been hitting at it. We've been talking. We've been not really talking. We've been
Mm-hmm.
patient. I know for me, I've been waiting 30 something years. C Major too.
Yeah.
Um, first of
Cussed out
all,
a kid on screen. They showed a little Lions kid crying. Fuck you, boy. Give a fuck about your tears, nigga. 32 years of children tears. These are the
that's-
same tears from when I was your age, nigga.
yeah, you're gonna have to eat that. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? Um, yeah, let's just leave with. I was gonna leave with love, but fuck that. We here.
I'm sorry.
Fuck that. We here.
Fuck that.
Um, I need to find all the people that had something to say to me down here, being a transplant, rocking my Washington gear. I need to. I need to walk past you one more time with my gear on and revisit some of the conversations that we've had. I've always maintained a level of respectability. I'm in a whole nother town. I'm never screaming F the Falcons. I'm never screaming F the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't even care about college football. That's why this relocation kind of worked best for me. This is not a division rival by any means. The city is set up and the structure of the metropolitan area looks a lot like home, feels a lot like home at times. And y'all major sport down here don't have nothing to do with me. Y'all Bulldogs fans to have a ball. But the people who just felt the need to say something. Because all I wanted to do was see my little nieces cheer. All I wanted to do was watch them in their taekwondo tournaments. All I wanted to do was go grab some brunch. All I wanted to do was go to the grocery store. And really, when I wear my Washington gear, it's not for y'all. It's for me. And it's for other fans that have relocated to get a glimpse of solidarity in a foreign city and town. But some of you AT aliens, found a need to insult me for some fucking reason. And I've played it cool. I said, you know what? The owner is the owner. You know, hopefully we get rid of him soon, but whatever. You know, I don't like where the team is right now either. Fast forward to the ownership situation being taken care of. We're under new ownership. I'm still rocking my gear because that's just how I was raised. Whether we won in, whether we win 1 game, 4 games, 9 games, 15 games, that's just how we was raised. I don't switch teams. Some of y'all,
Some of y'all,
I'll get to
yeah.
y'all. I'll get to y'all later. I'll get to y'all later because there's a special place in hell. I'll check in with y'all later. But for the people around here, especially before this season, when I said, "Hey, we're building," I'm just excited. We're under new management. I love the off season. I want to have a good football conversation with y'all. And I was met with, man, y'all just gonna be the same old, same old. Okay. Your experience and your history would tell you that. And by judging, you're probably in your 30s. I get it. You've never seen the tradition that the Washington franchise had. You weren't alive when your team wasn't even a consideration. See, and this is the thing about talking to us different. It's been 30 years, so we've had to kind of mute up and let other teams talk their shit. A lot of teams have come up, they're winning Super Bowls. You know, we got this great dynasty that we're watching in Kansas City, cementing their legacy. And honestly, frankly, I don't need anybody who's never won a Super Bowl to ever talk to me with any type of attitude again. Enough. Fucking enough.
It's over, Slim.
Enough of that. I've tried to be down here in Georgia and be nice to y'all. I've tried to be respectful, but enough.
That's the problem.
Enough of y'all talking your shit. You had to see it. I get it. Now you see it. Shut the fuck up and don't talk to me like that.
Don't talk to me like that again. Because if you ain't bred, if your culture wasn't literally bred around this shit, because look, if your culture ain't bred around this shit, because the last time we did this shit, we bust these same niggas' ass.
We won. And we won. Let me reiterate that for the Falcons fans in the back that had something to say to me this year before the season started. Not only did we go to the Super Bowl, but we have a history of winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we don't do that. Go there and lose shit.
We don't go there and blow 20-some point leads. That's not what the history has. That's just not who we are. And I let y'all get y'all shit off, and y'all was y'all was celebrating. Oh God, the Kirk fans, y'all. I can't believe
Cousins and yeah.
Y'all got this nigga blinged out. We did all that. Kirk was beating his feet in DC. I seen it.
It's real shit.
Y'all got real excited for a quarterback that didn't prove himself where we were. Told me to my face we ain't do right by Kirk. Said, here, hold my beer, and we'll show you how to work Kirk. And now y'all trying to figure out a polite way to dismiss Kirk from your locker room. Now you're trying to figure out a polite way to put him back on the market and try to regain any type of equity, some type of value.
Because y'all blew a bag on that nigga, too.
Woo. So enough. And this is not aimed at all Falcons fans, but the ones that had something to say to me, and you know me, it's not a lot of us where I live. It's not a lot of us where I live, and I will be. I can't wait till the season kicks off again, Miss Janelle. I can't wait till T-Boom sends me the schedule. I'm going to all the games, all the things that my nieces are doing. I want to see the same people. And I want to revisit some conversations that I had on those fields when I showed up as the lone burgundy and gold amongst black and red. I'll start there. The second part of this is congratulations to the Detroit Lions for making it as far as they did. This team, if it wasn't us, I was rooting for them. I'm just going to be 100%. They have a tradition of being in the same type of. They just played ground. For all the jokes that Detroit was during the time, they have some good players. They have some good legacies, and one of my favorite players that ever played the sport is Barry Sanders. So I'm never talking disrespectful to the team, the franchise, or the members of the organization. However, some of you fans was real spicy this week. And because we're new here to y'all, we sat back. But there's something that
let y'all bother me at work. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let you go. But I just want to quickly remind Detroit, it's us. It's just it's what we do to y'all when y'all need it the most. It's just something that we've just have had. Like, there was a time where we would not think about Detroit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you where we were wrong. You know, in our
right.
in our past, there were times when we wouldn't even think we would look at the schedule. Detroit's on the schedule, whatever, and then y'all would sneak one in, and y'all would be 1-13, and that one
Yeah.
win would be us.
Yeah, against us, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So but that never to me indicated that y'all should have the audacity to talk to us the way that y'all been talking to us all week. C Major, please correct me if I'm wrong. How many championships does Detroit have?
That's 0.
Okay. Talk to me different. Talk to us different. You do not I'm gonna tell you, there's some teams that could talk to us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk back, and we're wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just feeding you some information, some critical history lessons and things that I learned along the way of my fandom. Sometimes we talk to the wrong teams.
And sometimes you get put in your place.
Absolutely. I've said a few things to some Steelers fans. I've said a few things to some Dallas fans.
This is some Cowboys fans. And you as a Skins fan, you gotta say shit to your division rival.
Yeah,
you got
That's
to.
expected. That's expected.
But deep down, you know you're wrong.
Yeah. I've even made the dumb mistake of saying some things to Patriots fans. I was there. So I understand, Detroit, where you're coming from. You feeling good. You robust. The team's never been as good. You believe in the front office. They're making all the decisions that make sense to you. But put some motherfucking respect on the Washington Commanders. All right. I've talked a lot. C Major, please come in.
I'm gonna keep it rather brief. It's all personals for me. Shout out to my to the used car manager. Came through. I'm busy as fuck yesterday. Just me and the new hire. We getting it in. Normally he'll slide like a note, put something on my keyboard or something, like if he need me to look into this used car that need work or something like that. This nigga slide a note on my keyboard. Mr. Checking, talking to the customer about something. Talk about 7 hours. Walk away. Talk about until game time. I'm like, oh. So that's what we on. Okay. Because throughout the season, we both been humble franchise supporters. We talked about the shit, both been down in the dumps. But now come game time, we talking shit. I'm like, okay, so we talking shit now. At the end of my day, I walk into his office. It's quiet. I'm like, man, fuck, shit. My fault, Mark. I'm just acting out for when you see us catch this dub. You know what I'm saying? So this, as the game goes on, again, this is me chilling. I'm naturally, I'm not the type to reach out and engage with anybody when it comes to trash talking. But if you got it for me, I'm with it. I get the text from the manager. Nice stupid trick play that didn't work. What was that on our first drive? I was like, even still, I'm chilling. I was like, I see that text came through after your heart stopped beating through your chest.
Yes. Yeah.
And he responded, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Singular text. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good series of plays. I know, motherfucker.
Then wait a minute. So he's just talking to you while he's watching the game.
While he's watching the game.
Oh, his ass is tight.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But then he talk about we should have took the 3. Then that next drive, that's when Jameer goes off. He gets the touchdown. So now he's telling me things happen fast when number 26 is on the field.
Jameer Gibbs ran for 105 yards, 14 carries, averaged 7.5 yards per carry, and had 2 touchdowns. A beast. A fucking monster.
Budding superstar. 20-something plus touchdowns during the regular season with like the fewest carries amongst backs with considerable touchdown numbers. So
the speed on this guy is ridiculous.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So we get the fumble on that ensuing drive. I send the eye emoji in the football.
Keep your eye on the ball, right?
Yeah, like, come on.
We're talking about ball security at this point.
That's at 8:48 p.m. His response was at 8:51 p.m. St. Brown fell down, and Goff didn't know what to do. piss poor response. If your quarterback's supposed to get you to the Super Bowl, that nigga need to know what the fuck to do first and foremost. But that's when the text messages stop.
You want to know what happened? What's interesting about what he said about Jared Goff not knowing what to do. Our quarterback has never played. This is his first year in the league.
Fucking pros. He seems to always know what to do.
He always seems to know what to
do. He, for someone who's never been through this test, he seems to know the answers.
It's surprising me at all times. His innate ability to just know when to throw the ball away. It's almost like for somebody who's been watching the game for years and can see where the play that was called goes to shit. He's just so quick with it. He's allergic to it feels like he doesn't want to fuck up, and he owns it so much, and he plays with such a level of maturity that he doesn't force things.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think a rookie coming out that wants to prove himself is going to force make a lot of forced and a lot of bad decisions, and he hasn't done so yet. And I keep saying yet, and I keep saying things that are like qualifiers, like I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, because we've never seen anything like this. Never. So the expectation is always that a rookie star at some point, somebody, the rest of the world, the rest of the league is going to catch up and they're going to figure him out. And it hasn't happened just yet. And I'm excited about that. So you said the text stopped.
The text stopped at 8:51.
All right.
The game ended around 11.
Oh, so he
was involved in another group chat with a couple other managers. We couldn't find this nigga.
Oh.
I still haven't heard from him. I need to check on him.
Oh, wait a minute. There's been nothing since 8?
I gotta check the group chat you know what? No, he responded late. And now he's rooting for us.
I'm glad he wasn't on watch. I thought I had to go get him.
Yeah. Miss Janelle, send you to this address.
Just do
check
a
this dude
check.
All right, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a quick recap of the. Was your text exchange any other issues you had with Detroit fans? Because I have a few in my sneakerhead group that don't know me well enough to talk to me the way that they were talking to me.
No, that's it. That was just the one, and I found it very funny how when game time was upon us, the trash talking was robust. It was prime. It was almost like we've been talking shit all year and we haven't.
It's not normal for us to have this type of back and forth with Detroit. For you with Detroit, for me with Atlanta Falcon fans. Like, this isn't even our beef. This ain't your beef.
No, this
is not your beef. It really isn't. We don't poke our nose in the NFC North business. Y'all stay out of the NFC East business. We'll until it becomes a thing. Let's stay cool. Let's stay cool. You know what I'm saying? We got some really good teams coming out of the NFC North. And you guys did well. It was a great effort.
Great season.
Great effort. Great season.
Great season.
Great season. Let's go. Let's see how great you guys move. This is part of it. Hey, you want to know what? This is how you get to the Super Bowl. It is.
You got to take losses like these.
100%. This is how you grow. This is that skin, that tough skin. You take this, you remember it, you put it in the back of your head, you make adjustments. I hope you guys make a lot of adjustments. I'm hearing that a lot of coaching staff will be departing the team. So hopefully y'all figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't mean to sound the way I mean today, but you all have really made this week. You brought out a side of the Washington fan in me that I thought was tucked away for a while and probably would not resurface. But it's only for you teams that I still feel like cannot talk to us the way that y'all be talking to us. And that is a direct, if you haven't.
I can't believe because I know a few Atlanta fans, and up here they don't say shit. So, because
it's hard to believe.
yeah,
It's hard to believe. It is. It is. And even my cousin, who's a diehard season ticket holder, I'm getting texts from her. Congratulations. Even the last game of our last matchup. Congratulations, y'all doing y'all thing. I'm excited for y'all. I'm not talking to those fans. I'm talking to the cat. And what happens is you have casual fans. You have people who really pay attention to what's going on. Y'all, if you don't know what's going, just stay out of my business. That's all I'm asking. But I will be showing up to a lot of my niece's events, waiting to find the people who are talking to me. And I'm going to make myself very much available. There's going to be so much burgundy and gold on my person that you have to say something to me. I'm going to make it so you have to, wow, I didn't even know they had burgundy and gold in like
Birkenstocks, like
right.
Just
All right. 45-31 was the final score of the game. Jared Goff threw 3 interceptions. The defense showed up in a way I've never seen all season long. This is not even the best talent on the field. Like there's no expectations for this defense, and they played completely lights out yesterday. It was like they were a whole new team, and it's very exciting to see what Dan and the coaching staff was able to get out of this team. When you look at the players on paper, this doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense the way that they were flying around. I think in the middle of the second quarter, I said, we legit have a shot. The way that defense was playing, it was Luvu flying around, Wagner flying around. Just people were making plays. I saw so many close sacks. I saw so many times where our defensive linemen got through. And I was like, who is that nigga? Who's 95? You know, like, whether they actually, got to Jarrett. I know a couple of times they did, but just the close ones. I was just like, wait a minute. I have not seen this level of hustle and playing with this level of intensity from my team in such a long time, man. It was so exciting to watch. And even at that point, if we had lost the game, I was just excited that Dan got them that pumped up to play. That was incredible. Going into the last 2 quarters, I have to admit, I was just quiet. I sat in the room and was quiet. And when it looked like we had it wrapped up, one stream of tears just flowing. Because for me and for you, C Major in particular, Pops you just heard stories, all the stories of the heyday, of the tradition of winning in the nation's capital, of what it was like to have a winning team in the city, what that meant for Black people in particular, what it meant for businesses, what it meant for the feeling, the proudness that you have walking around. There's an air of like confidence that just comes with this victory. I was talking to Beak Dollars the other day, and she said, I just don't understand why people put so much effort into rooting for a team that doesn't do anything for you. Au contraire, they do. It does. It does something for us. It's escapism. It's finding joy in situations where maybe the rest of your life isn't quite where you want it to be. But oh my gosh, I have this shining light over here. And I know that was for me this year, in particular, for this season, for them to be this good while dealing with the loss of my dad, who was a huge fan of our dad, who was a huge fan of this team. It's helping. 100%. It's helping. And so overwhelmed with emotions last night. I know I feel like it's been such a long time since we've been there. I don't know how to act. And my apologies to everybody. My IG stories were out of control last night. It was crazy, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to enjoy it. It's been too long since we've been in this position, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Anything else you want to add, C Major? I see you got your Detroit. Are those the Detroit sunglasses that?
Yeah, I just got this package just landed in fresh from the D. I'm gonna light this up.
We smoking on Detroit? We smoking on the Lions?
Got that Lion OG on me, you know.
Oh man.
Mm, mm, tastes like victory.
Oh wow. Thank you, Miss Janelle, for allowing us the space and the opportunity to get our shit off. I really do appreciate that, and I know that you are genuine in your appreciation, in your excitement for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the energy. Y'all deserve this, man. Real talk. I'm glad this is happening for y'all.
Next up, we get the winner of LA or Philly. I'm not concerned about next week just yet. I'm enjoying this week.
Yeah, still basking.
Yeah, still basking in, but I love what our players have been saying. They're like, still not done, and that's what. Who are these guys?
Come on.
Who are these guys? They keep looking in the camera. They're talking to me.
Right.
And
locking in eye to eye.
Yeah, they're like, hold on, Commanders fans. We still got work to do. And I'm like, what? Love that. Love that for us. Love that for the team and for the city of Washington. I really hope that this brings forth all the economic impacts that I think it will. I remember what it was like. I was outside. I was a kid, but I was outside. I saw what business was like. I saw it was Chocolate City, nigga. Like, you don't even understand what the city was like when all cylinders would go for this team. When we had a winning team. Woo. Nightlife, all my female dancers out. It's going to be lit. Ladies, if you were considering going into the nightlife industry, DC is a hotbed right now. It's bubbling.
This might be the region for you right around this time.
Hustlers, if you're looking for a town to try to get some work off on, you got an idea, it's some hustlers in DC that can make that work for you. This is the time. This is the time to go to the DMV and make your dreams come true. It is. This team is going to generate a economic boom that just wait. I've seen it.
Open up your barbecue spots. Get your motherfucking sales. You can sell socks outside the BP again. Nigga, it's up, nigga.
It's up. All my hand-to-hand Tide dealers on the train. We back. We back. The city is live, young. The city is live. All the go-go bands. You don't have to travel. You won't have to travel so much to get to the money. People's coming outside. People's gonna come outside again. Hey, when y'all making the schedule, when y'all trying to figure out what schedule you want a fan base, you want to make some money. Guess what? Traditionally, the Washington squad has traveled well. It's just been a while since we've been good. But boy, now that we're good, now it's official. Hotels, restaurants, visiting teams, y'all about to see it. Y'all about to see it. It's money in DC. It's money to be spent.
You're gonna be annoyed at the site, but you're gonna see it.
Oh, the airports. Oh. Buying up all the $5 all the $5 sodas on my way to go see us play Tampa or whoever. Okay. All right. I keep trying to close it out. We're 30 minutes in. My bad, Miss Janelle. I was going to do something, a recap of my week, but really it just turned into yesterday's event. So I'm gonna leave it there. Do any of you, Miss Janelle, do you have something you want to share from the week? Okay, let's jump right into the touchy subject. What we at?
All right. I kind of feel crazy because I really come up with the touchy early in the week. So, this level of introspection on the back of you all's euphoria might sound crazy, but
You might get a wild answer. I like it.
Ooh.
what negative self-talk do you struggle with?
Ooh.
Y'all need me to stop?
Yes, please.
All right. Uh the ill part about me is I don't really have a lot of negative self-talk, but what I have always had, and Greece, you know about it, I will quickly tell myself that asking asking people to connect with me feels like I'm burdening them. And a
Mm,
lot of times, like I will not throw a party because I feel like I'll be imposing on people and that they will opt out of showing up. And a lot of times, people will be like, if you feel like others are a certain way, it's because it's really you're a certain way. And that's not the case at all. I love showing up for my people. I love breaking bread with my folks. I love being around my people. Anybody call me, I always answer. I never see dealing with folks as a burden, but when it's time for me to reach out, even when I want the company or something, I feel like I have to sweeten the deal. Like I don't think you'll just come and kick it with me. So let's go break bread at this spot. I know at least you want to eat,
mhm.
or but just to bring about a gathering of people, I feel like I'm getting on their nerves, and that it floods like this. As soon as I think about it, like I would love to have a gathering. I would love to throw a jam. Been many birthdays I've been like I should throw a party, and as soon as the thought comes, the voice comes, and it's telling me no, nobody want to fuck with that, Jay.
I keep telling. What What are you doing to work on that though?
I honestly, I give myself pushback on that, but it takes a long time. And then whatever I had in mind, it's no longer appropriate to do. Like it takes a long time. Um, so I'm
You
not
got niggas
efficient.
to go to Europe, yeah. Like,
I did, but the thing, let me tell you what my brain said. My brain was like, yeah, this is jive about my birthday, but if even if they don't give a fuck about my birthday, this is an experience for them to go to Europe. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
Europe was the draw.
mhm.
It wasn't about me. So that's how no, but like that's what
I
my
feel you.
brain
I feel
says.
you. Yeah,
My
yeah.
brain says that was a sweet deal to get to Europe and do some fly shit, and I happened to be there. you know. So it's always like if I suggest, let's go, like when we took the Don out to this brunch spot, it was my idea, and I'm like, it's easy because y'all showing up for the Don.
Mm,
I
mhm,
could never do that for myself.
mhm. Okay.
And it's a struggle. It is really what I struggle with, because even when I'm like, nah, Jay, that's not reality, and I'll tell myself examples of, y'all just showing up for me, celebrating me, and I'll be like, nah, but they also got a chance to do this, or other folks was there and it was a chance to do something else. I always tend to make it about something else, because why would y'all just want to fuck with me? I'm not I'm not a draw, you
Mm,
know.
mm.
And that's really been it my whole life.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as you were going through, as you were explaining that, I was thinking to myself that I am my biggest critic
Hmm.
in literally everything that I do. I think about ways in which my actions could have been better. My decision making could have been a little more thought out. I have a lot of imposter syndrome that I need to to let go of, especially with work, especially with where I'm at in life right now. Sometimes I just can't believe the things that I've been able to get done so far. And a lot of things that I accomplish, I don't believe I'm supposed to be here. And sometimes that leads down a very dark way of thinking for me. And I've got to work on that. I definitely got to work on that.
I guess I do carry a lot of self-doubt with certain things, or certain tasks. And I may even deny myself certain opportunities because I don't feel as though I feel as though I might not be qualified enough. Um Without, really putting it to the test. So that's like, yeah, that's what I would have to pick for that one.
Sounds like Mila got some things she wanna.
Yeah, she wanted to let her grievances be known. She actually wanted to express her doubt in me.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. Thank you for the touchy subject.
No
That was
problem.
deep, man. I appreciate that. It's something that I went into this year thinking about a lot, and I keep getting reinforcements about my position in my career and where I am in my life, and it's still hard for me to believe that they want me. You know what I'm saying? That I'm what here? What? I
And
found
that's
myself.
so crazy for me because you always have a plan and it was always gonna be this. It was always gonna be big. We was never gonna be small. You know what I mean? So like to hear you say that, it's like whole time coming up, we was like, my thing is I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna be small. You was like, no, I'm gonna do this, 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 this. And so that's wild to hear from you that you don't understand why you on the scene. And I'm like, I've been watching your like you literally took it upon yourself to master different skills. Like I know what you went to school for, and I saw you pivot, and I saw you build, and you don't get it. Like that's not.
Ah, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's even more tough when you're in an industry that doesn't always respect a woman's voice. But if you have good leadership, in which I do, I have to give props to my boy TC. Has been an amazing supervisor and leader in my current role, and he does not let a week go by where he's not saying something brilliant about the entire team. Um, and I'm slow. It's slowly happening. It's slowly happening. Things have been happening around me this year, and I'll have conversations with Gerasmo about it, and I'm like, man, it's been a very long time since I've worked for a company and worked in a place with people who all want to do great, all to want to put their stamp on something at this. Cause I work for a big company. A lot of your work could get lost in the shuffle.
Mhm.
And so when I was, this is crazy because I just had this conversation yesterday with Rapi Chulo. And I think people don't quite understand. And just having that conversation with him helped me realize, nah, I am kind of important over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I'm explaining to him what I was building and what it meant to the business, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, wait a minute. So you're responsible for all of the data for all of North America? I said, and Canada. And he's just like, I broke it down in detail, like, yeah, it's to a point, the work that I do affects how I shop. And a colleague of mine who's been with the company for 20 some odd years said the same thing. Once you get in it, and if you are a person who really enjoys doing what you do and likes making things better, you'll see in the stores where we make things better. You'll see on TV. Like you'll start to see your impact. And it's taken me a couple of years, but I'm starting to see the impact. So if I go to a store and I see some product and I have a question about how it got there, why, I can I can effectively make change there. So it's taken a long term. I'm not quite there yet with resolving that inner voice that you mentioned, but it's turning around a bit. It definitely is. And that's 100% with the people it has everything to do with the people I work for and me, but just working with a team of people, a group of people who really want to do good and want to advance, and we all got each other's back. I can't even tell you last time I've been on a team at work that wanted to do that. Like we all here, we all trying to like
We all
nah.
trying to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been on so many teams where the people are good with where they at.
Mm,
And so the bare minimum is just cool. They good. They hit whatever number it was in their head. They hit it and they're fine. I don't even understand that thinking. For me,
right.
I respect people who are okay there. It took me a while to even get there because motivation is something that it excites me. So yeah. All right. A lot. That was a lot. But that was a dope touchy subject as well. So good shit. Good shit. You want to go to where do we want to go first? The inaugural. Do we even want to talk? Okay. Let's go to Cam. Fucking Cam. Uh, when we talk about bravado, you talk about football, you talk about somebody who had an outstanding rookie campaign and outstanding years in the game. You talk Cam Newton is one of those quarterbacks that led the way for CJ Stroud, your Patrick Mahomes, your Lamars, your Jadens, who are in it now. But he's struggling because he's no longer in the game, no longer getting those NFL salaries. And he says that he struggles with no longer being Superman to his 8 kids after losing the NFL salary. Now, the former athlete who's 35 shared a little bit about transitioning away from playing in the NFL during this week's episode of Special Forces. He's also on that. Special Forces is one of those shows where celebrities go and try to do something to prove something to themselves. And I think I don't know if it's SEAL. I don't know what Special Forces division this is, but I think they just kind of put these celebrities through the ringer as far as like tactical assignments and exercises that certain special forces officers are required to do. And level and the expectation is that these celebrities push themselves to the limit to accomplish these tasks. So I have watched one season of this before. It's not something that drew me back.
Mm,
But I have seen where celebrities have made breakthroughs. I've seen where celebrities have quit. It is not for the weak. So if he's on here and he's still in decent shape, I would assume that he would do well. But I also saw other NFL players from previous seasons quit. So
right.
it's not just physical, it's emotional and it's mental. And I feel like this is where this is coming from. So let me get into it. The former professional athlete who's 35 shared a little bit about transitioning away from playing in NFL during this week's episode of Special Forces. Newton, who left the sport in 2021 after playing for the Carolina Panthers that season, said that it's been hard for him to feel like a Superman to his 8 kids that he is making now that he isn't making the same amount of money anymore. Quote, I'm going into a different phase of my life that's going to require a different form of myself, Newton said on the show. Being in the NFL, everyone knows there's a large sum of money that comes to you in a short span of time, and being away from the game for 3 years, those checks don't come in the same. And then he says, like, I got 8 kids. It hurts me knowing that I can't provide like I once did. It hurts thinking that I'm Superman, but in reality, I'm just a man. Um, I I don't know how I feel about this quote, Miss Chanel. I don't know how I feel about his introspection. I really don't. I could see where it could be. I can see where he's coming from. From a perspective of having all of this money and then it not be available. But I also feel like there's things that you could do to kind of prepare for not being an NFL anymore. But I also want to be respectful to those who don't have those tools. So I don't know.
what 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 this story did for me was it kind of highlighted where you'll often get, especially with celebrities that we know of, usually men who have a lot of children, and then you'll hear people saying, that's not good, that's not healthy for the kids, and then people are like, he could take care of them. It's none of our business. It's all good. I'm hoping my what I would like to see Cam take away from this is that this is what folks are talking about where the difficulty comes in. You are a lot more than the money that you provide to your kids. But now is the hard part, because if he had, like so many men, lean into the provider role, and I'll hear men be like, "Oh, I've got enough money to take care of this, that, and the other," but then on the other side, be like, "I feel like I'm just a wallet to my family." This is your chance to not just be a wallet to your family. This is the chance for you to tap into those skills, those tangible and intangible skills that you bring to parenting that you don't have money to bolster. Now your kids can get you. Now your kids can get your attention, your communication, but if that's something that you've never had to provide, that is going to be very difficult. Because now it's easy for me to be Superman when I can get you any material thing that you want. But now I have to show up as Superman in another way. Now, what a lot of men will do is opt out, and I hope that he does not opt out. I hope that he takes this challenge and doesn't see it as, I just need to go get more money. Think of it as a way that you can show up as Superman in a different way for your kids. They need you, you know, for a lot more than what you can provide for them monetarily.
I feel like C Major has something to add to this story as well.
You expect for me to be a parent?
Didn't I
Watch
say
these
I
niggas?
hope, nigga?
Where- Give up that hope, nigga. Shit. This nigga is trying to. Have y'all not heard this nigga on this podcast? The way he be trying to break down film and shit. This nigga wants an NFL job so bad, so
So
he
bad.
can get the fuck away from his. So he can get so much farther away from his kids and family. He, his niggas at home going, do it.
I feel like his podcast he has his own podcast, right?
Yeah.
I see him on ESPN every chance he can. He's on First Take with Steven. Mr. Janelle, I think C Major is right.
That nigga is trying to work.
He
Fuck
has
that.
no interest in
He just wants to throw money at the kids and
100%.
and that be it.
How much they getting paid for this? They lie. He's doing that shit just so he don't gotta be by the kids. He's jumping from helicopters and shit.
There is a line of thought where I get what you're saying, but everything you're saying is true.
100%.
But they gotta wanna participate. You gotta wanna be a parent. And a lot of people don't understand that they won't even attempt to try to do both. You know what I'm saying? People can be super hyper focused on the one thing that they're good at. And for Cam, it might be this NFL shit. You know what I'm saying? he might struggle with parenting. Um, and so the easiest solution for him is to throw money at the situation. And part of the I hate when I like to take a little sabbatical from other podcasts because I hate bringing up shit that I heard on other podcasts here, but this ties completely into this because there was a story not too long ago about Dennis Rodman's daughter and how she's witnessing him showing up for other girls championships, and she wishes, part of her wishes that he was a better father to her. But he wouldn't be Dennis Rodman. And that's the struggle I think a lot of people in those positions have. They don't know how to do both. They struggle with multitasking. There's no room for like the multitasking that you have to do to be a superior athlete in his position as he was at the time. Maybe there was no other room to do anything else. I think, I struggle here with a lot of the responsibilities that I have at work and managing home. And sometimes one part of my life is thriving and the other one isn't, and vice versa. It's a struggle that we all deal with. But I think, I know I'm not an expertise. I'm not elite level. There's no draft in which I'm going first in the first round for what I do. So
Okay.
Even at my level, I'm struggling with that. But if you are the elite of the elite at your level, I could see that being a huge.
Okay, but like even if you're trying to be a lead at that level and you want to be a family man, right? Have 2 kids.
Oh, Miss Chanel.
You have an 8 and talking about you still want more as you're looking for your wife. That that doesn't Wait a minute, why y'all
What
both
you talking
shaking your
about
head
here,
and
man?
looking?
Come on now, let's be realistic.
You want a lot.
You want a lot.
You're expecting a lot. You're expecting a lot. He wants 10 kids. He wants 10 kids. You have Anthony Edwards, who has what, 3 around the same age or right around the same age. You have Tyreek Hill, who has maybe 3 or 4 around the same age. These guys, I don't know too many examples that they can lean on to get the guidance that they need to make that type of decision. That's why I asked that. There's not a lot of examples out there.
But can you at least, if you can say out loud that you're struggling with no longer being Superman for your kids, can you at least interrogate why you want to add? Can you interrogate why 10 is your magic number? What do you want? What does that mean for you? What are you bringing to these souls that makes this human experience worth it? What are you contributing to this human experience? Can you at least interrogate that instead of just throwing out an arbitrary number? Fuck that, I want 10 kids. Like, no, like what do you want to pour into? What do you want to pour
NFL
into
shit?
these people?
You talking like a brokey, Miss Chanel. And it's okay.
And that's fine.
We're brokies. We're thousandaires. You know what I'm saying? Like
Fuck that. Cause you telling me you having this conversation is telling me you can't even get your sauce up because now you talking. Cause at least be like, oh, I'll not only am I gonna get 10 kids, I'm gonna get this money. Why are you stuck in struggle mode? Why aren't you still Superman? Where your hustle at? Because if that's what it is, then do that. But if you can verbalize, I don't like now I got time to look at my kids and I see that I can't offer them everything that I could before as far as monetary resources.
Mm-hmm.
You're not then going to tap in and say, but I damn sure can be at every one of their events or, games, recitals. I damn sure can make sure I spend individual time with each of them throughout the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's already dug himself a hole. And I think that's
Mm.
the key component, right?
Cause
Who
now
was
he
that
worried
corner?
about how he looked to everybody else too.
You got that. Who's that cornerback back in the day for the Jets that had? I mean, there's so many examples. There was a cornerback, a shutdown cornerback for the Jets years.
Who's that? Cromartie?
Yeah, I think he was another one. I think he had several around the same age, and I think there were a few juniors. I think he was. Can you look that up for me? Can you fact
He
check me?
got 14 known. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
14 14 known children.
Mm-hmm.
He got Antonio Cromartie Jr.,
Yep. Uh-huh.
Julian,
Mm-hmm.
London,
Mm-hmm.
Alonzo,
Mm-hmm.
Karis Marie Ford, Deja Cromartie,
Mm-hmm.
Leilani, Tyler J. Uh,
No more juniors though. I thought he had a
uh,
couple of juniors and no.
let me
Okay.
see.
There are
No, I'm not
14
seeing.
of them. Scroll. You might have to hit
Yeah, I
the
was
next
like,
page.
that junk cut off. Like, junk didn't have data for the
I,
others.
go ahead.
Uh, yeah, no, Wiki let me down the goddamn dead end.
Okay. Well, what I was saying, Ms. Janelle, was that the it's you're in the league, you're 20 something, you're an elite athlete, you don't think it's ever going to end. And even though there's so many examples of the career ending, these athletes, the sport is such that you can't thrive in the sport being scared of impending injuries or your eventual demise. That's not how that works. You have to go
Mhm.
in there with this thought of I'm invincible to a certain degree, but you also have to have a backup plan. And we've seen in recent years a lot of NFL players have decided to leave early,
Mhm.
considerably early
On their own
on
terms.
their own terms. JJ Watt, that was a shocking retirement for me. I was like, wait a minute. I'm used to these Bama's getting dragged off the field, from the 80s and the 90s when the checks weren't what they were, um, what they are now, excuse me. But the checks are set up now. Again, I agree with you, but you have the mentality of some of these players is that it's not going to end. Oh, I can have as many kids as I want. Oh, if I grew up in a household where the total income was 200 or it was 80 grand or it was 40 grand in some instances, this is more money than I could shake a stick. I'll never run out of money. What? It's it's behavior. It's understanding where you are early in the game. Is your influences when you're young and elite and in the sport and thriving. It's all of that. All of that plays a role. And unless you have the right people around you, you're just going to make the same decisions over and over again, and you'll find yourself working yourself into a grave. There's certain people on at these analyst desks that I'm like, you can go now. You can leave now. Why are you still? I turned on Fox yesterday and I was like, Terry is still there. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. You can sit
You
this one
know,
out, Chief.
people talking around their dentures. Like people, I saw as a kid, I thought they were old then, but Terry Bradshaw to me was old in the
He
90s.
was old as fuck. Yeah.
He's still at the table. Uh and these are people that Cam is competing against. These motherfuckers don't leave.
These niggas like what they like Supreme Court judges.
Yeah. The fact that my man from New York, what's his name? The one that's doing everything. Fucking good Lord in
Strahan.
America. Straight. The fact that he made it to the desk is crazy. That's an
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a super because those people don't. What's is it Jim Brown? He's been there
Yeah.
forever. You
Mhm.
Hell,
can't.
Hobbs
His
is
hair has been
crazy.
black since '82. I don't know what he's doing. Howie, these Bamas don't go nowhere. and and you got these new crop of athletes trying to find
Trying
their
to break
next
in.
move. Yeah, Tom sound crazy on that.
Tom sounded crazy. Only thing he had going for him was his suit. They
His
had
suit was
they had
mean.
contour and bronzer on my nigga, young.
He looked crazy. Yeah. He looked and sound crazy.
How he still forcing a hairdresser to get his little struggle Philly together.
Yo, I was just he the type of nigga that sit in the barber chair and don't say nothing. Nigga just
No.
get to work.
Niggas was handing them haircuts out in the 80s in the Navy, and he stuck with it.
He stuck with it.
That nigga saw Top Gun and was like, "Yup."
That nigga, we know what
I'm
we say
locked
when
in.
niggas
Mhm.
when niggas was at their peak,
Yep,
they stick with what they fuck with.
right there, right there. Oh, we doing shoulder passes, and we still doing shoulder pads. Putting them shoulder pads in my suit, bruh. It's still 96. It's crazy, but yeah. Good luck to Kingham's family, all those kids, and the
Yeah,
two
man.
that are supposed to be coming soon. I guess I don't know.
I hope you figure it out.
Yeah. Duolingo sees 216% spike in U.S. users learning Chinese amid TikTok ban and move red note. Do you know anybody who's using Duolingo? I know a couple of people who are, and they take that shit serious.
Yeah. It's crazy to me how people just jump to red note, clicked through and accepted the terms and conditions that are in Mandarin, and it was like, oh, let me figure out what the fuck I just figure out what the fuck I just signed up for. Yeah.
Oh shit.
The
Into terms in Mandarin is crazy.
agree to terms in any language that you don't speak, but we agree to terms in language that we speak and don't read the terms.
Don't be reading it.
I didn't know how real it was for the TikTok people in the community. I'm not an I don't find myself on TikTok every day. It's not something that I do every day. I'm kind of stuck. I don't want to join a new social media platform. I'm actually considering going back outside a little bit more and being social in a space that requires talking to people and interacting with people that I enjoy. So I saw all the funerals and what have you, but and I do understand that people make a living on TikTok, so it's a huge issue. You're talking about a lot of people who use the platform to sell goods, who use the platform as influencers, who don't have any recourse. Their data, all of their content is there. A lot of people didn't believe it until it actually happened, so they never made the move to download their content. I never believe in posting things that I don't have a copy of. So as far as our account is concerned, I've kept everything. So, but I'm also old school. I've been working with computers for a very long time, and I've seen where failures exist, and I've worked in industries where you need a backup somewhere. So I've always moved in that old school mentality or that old school thinking of back your shit up. If it's valuable to you, you'll back it up because this thing can break at any moment. So, yeah, agreeing to Chinese terms on a Chinese platform where the Chinese people don't even have the same laws and freedoms that.
No, the beautiful part about people going to red note is understanding that even under what we've been fed as horrific communism, Chinese people experience freedom where we experience the illusion because we have opinions.
I have people who would argue against that who came from China.
Yeah, I know Chinese people who will argue against that, but I think part of their argument against that is the propaganda that they get fed as well. And I think a lot of what I appreciate about this cultural exchange is that, you know, a lot of Chinese people are saying, you know, we're hearing that this and this and this is happening in y'all country, and that can't be true, right? They're trying to make us hate you, and we're like, nah, that's true. And then
Mhm.
a lot of American people are hearing like, we heard this and this and this and this and this, and they're like, nah, that's not the case at all. And so I think both sides have been victims uh of propaganda, but also a lot of Chinese Americans, they understand the hardship of their family and what they've dealt with, and then they get here, and while there's a difference, the definition of freedom, I think, gets skewed. Because I think that the reason why American people can feel like they have quote unquote freedom, but are beholden to jobs that they don't like,
Mhm.
stuck in as
Mhm.
debt slaves and all of that, they don't understand freedom as it really is.
Mhm.
I don't understand how we as a country can say freedom out of one side of our mouth and then talk about who can do what at the doctor, or who can and can't get married, and happily go towards restricting that. So I think a big piece of that is the definition of freedom, because my thing is, if you're in China and the minister of information is controlling the media that I can observe, and the things that I can hear, and the things that I can watch, that's trash. But I can also work, live, have fun, like have true leisure time, where a lot of people in the world can't. And so you're
I
like,
would
"Oh, I don't have the freedom to express myself in this way about the government or do certain things, but I also have the freedom to walk around at night, catch a train, do some go to the doctor." And so it's just that I think we've had entities that control how we view freedom. And
I
if we
think
really look at the
uh,
definition,
I again I have a little bit of pushback here, only because some of the folks that I know that are Chinese, um that that are Chinese citizens, have said that they don't have the speaking. Now, mind you, I'm talking about women in particular, and I'm talking about women in tech, and they would argue that they don't have the same jobs, that they are not able to have the same type of jobs and to make the same type of money that they are here. Now, I do understand and accept the caveats of debt and things of that nature, but some of the jobs just aren't even available to women in Chinese in China, in Asia, period, just based on patriarchal uh views and shit, shit like
oh,
that.
absolutely. And those beasts are present in most places. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
But when you think about structures, government structure, I think both sides have said things that make their citizens believe things that just are not true.
Oh,
Now,
100%.
we can always say as women that the world looks different for us as women. We could say as black folks that the world looks different for us because of these structures that are in place, patriarchy, racism, things of that nature. But I think that if you get down to being in a country that claims to have all of this freedom, but because you don't have $500, you don't have the freedom to get in a fucking ambulance if you get an emergency, because that will set your family back and you might end up homeless. That's very different than not being able to get the kind of job that you want because people will shut you out because you're a woman.
Mhm.
So at the same time where we're saying y'all aren't free over in China, and you will have people who will say in China, yeah, we're not free because an aspect of their life isn't going how they want to. We also can't say we have freedom when we can't not go to work. And that
I'm
just
not
means we can't have sick leave.
I'm not at all advocating on any scale the amount of freedom or comparing freedoms, just simply saying that there's caveats to both
Oh,
sides, and
absolutely.
that
And I
there are Just based on a couple of conversations that I've had with people who've come from China, and men and women have both expressed the ability to move about differently here. And they and every it goes back to this overall overarching issue of separating and making the program is the program, the propaganda is the propaganda, and every country runs it in their own special and unique way to keep their citizens under control. And so it's the grass appears greener over here for a lot of people who are marginalized in various countries, and they come here and they have a lot of hateful and nasty things to say about black folks that are here, not understanding why we don't take advantage of certain things. So I completely understand the intricacies and all the different ways in which these countries are pitting their citizens against each other and against outsiders. Um, the the goal, though, I think, is for you to find the right space for you to thrive in, and I don't think I think it's getting harder and harder to do with technology. I think it's getting very hard to find the space for you to find a place and the space for you to live your definition of freedom.
I appreciate that with technology, people are choosing to have these cultural exchanges.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I think that's the enemy that governments are afraid of, that community is the enemy that they're afraid of.
Oh yeah.
Because the more that we talk to each other and we say, oh yeah, y'all got it like that over there, people be like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, y'all got it like that over there. Because it's easy to tell people what we can and can't do because we're way bigger than, because people be like, you can't think about the European model, we're way bigger than them. Okay, but their population is a lot bigger than ours and they can do these things, so that
Mhm.
argument doesn't hold up.
No, it's just
Or
prying the money from the cold, decrepit, old hands of the rich. That's
so
basically what it is.
I
So
want us to find sites from everywhere and people to run to them and talk to each other and see something different.
absolutely.
Because if this is the key, if getting niggas to learn Mandarin is the key, let it
Well, it's
let it
good.
start.
Some of y'all need to cut it out because y'all couldn't pass Spanish, and you talking about a whole new set of whole new alphabet, a whole new set of characters, a whole new way of thinking about language. Y'all trying to learn Mandarin. Y'all need to chill. Yeah. So y'all really need to chill. All right, let's move on. Method Man um, finds himself in the middle of an issue in Staten Island. Let me see here. Wu-Tang Clan rapper Method Man allegedly involved in assault at Staten Island Crunch Fitness. Have either of you been to a Crunch Fitness, first of all? Okay. The energy in there is very anti purple place. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it seemed very shirt off over there.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of grunting there. There's a lot of There's a lot of looking over at your competitor who doesn't know he's your competitor or she knows your competitor and adding more weight. It's one of those type of places. A rapper and actor, Method Man, a member of legendary hip hop collective Wu Tang Clan, was allegedly involved in an assault on a family friend at a Crunch Fitness gym on Staten Island. Law enforcement sources told the Post. Hempstead, Long Island born Method Man 53, whose real name is Clifford Smith, allegedly punched Patrick Sequoia, who's 28, in the face 7 times with a closed fist, the sources said. The alleged assault was the result of a relationship Sequoia had with the Takao rapper's daughter more than a decade ago. The alleged victim reported that Smith had brought the pain to his face and he was feeling dizzy, but he refused medical attention at the scene. Um, what happened?
It was niggas fighting, and they carried it as niggas fighting. It was no charges. It was 10 years ago, meth was probably very busy, not in Staten Island too much, but he knew about the bullshit that his daughter was dealing with. And he probably thought to himself, it's on site with that nigga.
Mm.
Now he's older, he chilling. They probably rap for the season of Power that he on. So he like, let me go home. You know, he a gym nigga. Let me go work out. Oh wait, ain't that nigga? Let me put hands on him. And
10 years ago,
dude was like, all right.
I told you it wasn't sweet 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really do think that my man kept it. He kept it gangster though. I'm not gonna file charges. I'm not trumping up a lawsuit.
Nope.
I might have slapped your daughter up a couple times. I figured this day was coming.
Yeah, nothing to add here. Open and shut case.
Open and shut case, Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, one more fight. One more fight, and then we get out of here. Busta Rhymes turns himself into the cops after alleged fight with assistant. Rapper Busta Rhymes is facing multiple assault charges after an alleged altercation with his assistant in New York City. It all went down January 10th. Busta got into an argument with Deshale Gables over being on his phone during work hours in the lobby of Gables' condo building in downtown Brooklyn, according to law enforcement. We're told the dispute soon escalated into violence when Busta slugged Gable several times in the face. Our sources say Busta took off after the alleged assault and Gables called 911. Here's the opposite of what happened. Police and paramedics quickly arrived on scene. Gables was rushed to a local hospital to be treated for a reported eye injury. On Tuesday, Busta turned himself in to the NYPD and was given a desk appearance ticket for misdemeanor assault, attempted assault, and harassment. A DAT means the rapper is handed a date to appear in court to address the charges. So complete opposite situation than what Method Man dealt with in Staten Island. Okay, Generation X, we've got to go to anger management. We've got to figure out a better way to convince the assistant to get off the phone
or fire him. Like that was a real easy. You're no longer my assistant, because now he's costing you money in more ways than one.
Yes,
and that's just
it's time. We're in our 40s and 50s. Yo, you gotta relax.
An emotional response like that to a work situation is, but it's crazy. You're right though. With Gen X, I see emotional responses in the workplace to shit that is like this shouldn't be that heavy on your mind. This shouldn't have that much weight. And so many people are so rigid in the workplace, and they hate seeing the carefreeness of millennials and Gen Z cats. And I be at work loving that shit. Like I had a chick call me. I work in a completely different, like we have 4 different buildings. This chick called me telling me that this 20-something cat that works, he came in with Crocs. You don't need PPE unless you out in the field. Like I'm asking like questions like what's the problem? What are we getting at?
Right.
And then she was like, I just can't believe these people. Like, why is that even why is that a concern of yours? I don't give a fuck what nobody got on in here. He's drawing on a draft board. Why can't he have Crocs on? There's just decorum and things that you do at work. And I don't know how work got bludgeoned into some people in our generation's heads, but that shit.
Our parents, the boomers did a great job of telling. My parents did an awesome job. Mom, in particular, telling me how I wasn't going to get a job based on the way I dressed. That was reiterated over and over and over again about my choice of clothing and how that was going to impact me in my career.
Oh, girl was stressed out. We both, I think she might be 50, but like I'm late for it. I'm like, are you calling? Think about what you just did. You just called me because another person got Crocs on their feet, and it does nothing.
Could you imagine what this was like in the 80s? I can't believe Sharon came in here without pantyhose.
Right. It's like, free yourself. Step one, go the fuck back in your office. Like, why is this?
Yeah, the 80s had them motherfuckers in a chokehold. Them niggas
Yo.
couldn't. They went to work in like after 5 cocktail attire, C major. Like they wasn't. They
Like,
couldn't
dress
relax.
codes were ridiculous. Pantyhose. Some of my
Pantyhose.
folks who work for the state and the county and shit, they talk about the dress codes and like when you know how the DMV summer get and I gotta fuck around and put this on. That's still a thing. That's still a policy. Who the fuck? Who's enforcing that? Who's worried about that? Bare legs is a term that y'all use.
Yeah, no bare legs.
No bare legs.
No bare legs. I worked for a company that had a no bare legs policy.
Oh man.
I said,
You
this is
right.
crazy.
Gen X, we need a V8 or something. We
Slim, we need a reboot. And all of this shit is changing while we're in it.
right. And I love that shit. More freedom, more t-shirts and jeans in the workplace. What can we
But
roll
you
back
have more of
to
a
being
hippie
in-
background kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like your mom's was a little more free thinking than the average
That's true.
boomer. Yeah.
That's true.
The rest of us kind of grew up under some really conservative practices, and I will say this for our generation: a good chunk of Generation X does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just doesn't care. Like there's a good, I would say about 70% of our generation does not give a fuck what you have on. We just want you to get the job done.
Get the job done.
But there are some of us who haven't worked through our traumas yet, and we gotta relax.
And nigga, you over there being free? Bop, 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 bop. Cause he in the lobby
of his apartment.
He's in the lobby of his spot on his phone. This was something. Busta was mad about something else.
Yeah, this had nothing to do with the job.
Busta was mad about something else.
Young ass nigga, I'm old. Me.
Yeah,
Young ass nigga, I'm old. It's crazy.
And he's skinny again.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
He's back skinny again. Have y'all seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but his
Yeah, he's
dome
back.
don't fit no more.
Nah.
His dome ain't get skinny at the same rate.
Gotta watch that. Gotta watch them pins.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have. I think we went through the majority of the stuff. Snoop Dogg. Some things just don't age well, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
And all money ain't good money.
All money ain't good. Did you see the clip from the actual party though? Of him DJing? Nobody in the audience knew what he was doing. That's the other thing. Like, for all the vitriol and hate that Chrisette Michele got, and I think I was one of those people that hate it, and I will apologize because what the fuck? That was just terrible. But at least she could sing standards. You know what I'm saying? Like she could come to the table and sing Mac Tonight, New York, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Some classics that the audience could get behind. You know what I'm saying? But you up there dancing around in the tux, playing "It Ain't No Fun." Like, might not be the best spot for you to be talking about. It ain't no fun. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
But the thing is, you're right though. I feel like neither he nor Nelly are gonna face the type of backlash. I don't know. Chrisette Michele, that whole thing was weird to me because I wasn't enough of a fan of hers to care either way.
Same,
but
yeah.
the way that people rained on her head, I was like, damn. And then since then, people have done way more egregious things.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think everybody involved that we're disappointed in them being involved will will not feel it in any way.
They won't feel it in any way. And then a lot. I'm sorry, C Major. Go ahead.
She a couple of forevers chick, right?
Oh, see, the diminishment is crazy. She's also it's yes, a couple of forevers.
Uh-huh. I know she had other jams too,
Okay.
but I'm just saying, like, I feel like most people mad at her because that was a wedding jump.
Mm.
You like, damn, I got married to Chrisette Michelle, then she gonna show up at the MAGA Fest jump.
But again, at least she can sing.
Sing some shit to the crowd.
There's a scenario in which I see Chrisette Michelle's set turning out positive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the clips of the Snoop joint, it's like you're not even getting no energy back from the crowd. Like,
They're not even vibing with you.
no.
This was
You like no.
But I've been staying so far away from anything that's touching it. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to do nothing. So, but I would be interested to see see what it looked like because I'm picturing. You remember that joint, that Ja Rule, that game where Ja Rule was performing and he was saying something to the crowd, and then he was like, "I guess not." I'm picturing Snoop putting in work and the crowd just crickets.
Yeah, I'll find it and I'll send it to you so you can at least see it. It snuck on my timeline only because I've been listening to Snoop's last album and I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was a nice joint. Him and Dre, production was tight, and then yeah, you got to see this clip. Yeah, now you got to. Yeah, now we're here. Thank you to our producers for continuing to support Patreon. We are continuing to deliver these video presentations a few days before the rest of the world gets it. The YouTube folks, probably Tuesday night, Wednesday morning is usually where I'm shooting to do the release. So thank you for keeping this show afloat. I will say that. I'm still my speech is all over the place.
Episode?
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. I have that to do today, and in addition to the editing of today's show, I thought I would be able to edit yesterday. My emotions were all over the place. I think it was too much going on, and I didn't get it done. But that producer's episode will be up this week, most definitely. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Reals&Feels. I'm T Greasy on Instagram. If there's another spot to advertise, I will find it. And I don't know what to do at this point. Our Facebook page is still active. I'll start charging that up again and dropping some promos there as well. So whatever shakes out from this whole thing, we'll figure it out and we'll move accordingly.
I'm Devious Dose on Instagram and Blue Sky.
You can find me on X at C Major PUACEE. That's CEE Major PUACEE. You can find me on IG at C Major. That's CEE Major. Fuck that UK nigga. Hit the link of both those bios and get into everything.
Surreal, C Major. Surreal. This has been a surreal weekend. Yeah. Enjoy it. Hold Mila close.
Yes, indeed.
She had her commander's outfit on.
She had on a burgundy sleeper with a gold headband.
Okay. Just want to make sure we was all dressed, and it got to indoctrinate her now
for sure
while she's young. She don't know no better. So,
exactly. I'm gonna act like 30. I'm gonna act like daddy. They wasn't even a team before you was born. They just started.
They just
I
started.
mean, but this year being the year that it is, and if they continue, she might only know them as a winning team.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thought. And I'm about to go cry about that now. So
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Tune in next week. We'll be right back here with more Reals and Feels. I'm working on a closing.